Model United Nations is a platform where the youth represents different countries as a simulation of the United Nations, and get together to discuss the ongoing problems in the world, and find solutions.
We have a very efficient and effective day plan in place to be undertaken on the day of the online MUN.
There will be 2 separate Zoom meetings for the 2 separate councils.
The participants of the MUN will join the respective Zoom meetings in the morning through links given to them via WhatsApp.
The formal sessions will continue till the evening with small intervals in between for the delegates to refresh themselves.
After adjourning the sessions, awards will be handed to the 3 most outstanding delegates in each council, while all the other delegates will receive participation certificates.
The General Speakers List. After the topic has been decided, the delegates must talk about the topic being considered. So the chair will then invite all of the other delegates who would want to be put on the General Speakers List. This means that the default speaking time for each delegate is 1 minute and 30 seconds. If the delegates were not able to meet the remaining time, or if there's still time remaining, the delegates may yield in one of 3 ways. 1. Yield to another delegate. This means that the remaining time will be yielded to the delegate designated by the speaker, and the designated delegate is free to accept the yield or not. If the delegate does not accept, the time is automatically yielded back to the chair. So number 2, yield to questions. This means that when the time is yielded to questions, the chair will recognize other delegates who will then ask their questions about the speech. The speaker is not obliged to answer the questions directed at them though. And number 3, yield to the chair. If the remaining time is yielded back to the chair, the debate will continue, and the next speaker on the list will be summoned up to speak. That's all. Points of parliamentary inquiry. This is used when a delegate has a question about something that is not clearly understood in the committee session. So, moderated caucus. A moderated caucus begins with motion raised by delegates by mentioning the specific topic that will be discussed, the total time to discuss it, and each speaker's speaking time. If the motion has been declared passed through a simple majority, the chair will invite delegates who wish to speak after the delegate who proposed the motion. The delegates will conduct speeches based on that motion.
What is crisis? Crisis involves acting as an individual to address the situations thrown at the committee. A crisis arc is your overall goal in committee as a character. Plan out an arc using a flow chart. Do research to figure out how to go from point A at the start of the committee to point B, which is your ultimate end goal. Remember, your personal notes will be essential to accomplishing your crisis arc. Group directives drive the committee forward. They are written by an individual or 2 and passed around the room to gain sponsors and signatures from other delegates. Committee flow. Keep writing directives throughout the committee. Then the crisis update. Propose caucus, vote on caucus, and complete caucus. Introduce directives on the table. Vote in block. Either should be vote for or against. Then exit vote in block. Dear delegates, please do remember, when it comes to crisis situation, be creative but be respectful. Voting on motions or resolutions. With regard to voting on motions, you can either vote for a motion or against a motion. With regard to voting on resolutions, you have 3 options. You can either vote for a resolution, against a resolution, or you can abstain from voting on resolutions. It all depends on your country's interests and how it aligns with your country's foreign policy. So, that brings us to the end of this tutorial video. Thank you for watching, delegates. Don't worry, everything's gonna go smooth. Do research a lot. Good luck!
Now, moving on to the unmoderated caucus, or you can call it the resolutions. This session is arguably the most significant and critical part of the whole MUN conference. Everything you have debated throughout the whole day will come down to this. This session is where the awards are won, and this session is where the awards are out. So, the more you master the unmoderated caucus, the better. So, what is the unmoderated caucus? The unmoderated caucus is where you will write down solutions for the problems that you have discussed throughout the entire day. This procedure is a bit different from the previous procedures. Why? Because in this session, you will be able to interact with the other delegates directly. So this session is partially informed. What happens in an unmoderated caucus? First of all, the delegates of the council will divide into groups according to their foreign policies. Now, if you are wondering what foreign policies are, let's put it to you this way. The points of view of Russia and the United States of America towards this world are different. Their policies towards this world are different, and their international allies are different. So, they will be part of two separate resolution papers. Likewise, all the other delegates of the council will divide into the resolution papers according to their international policies. Now, if some countries feel that their foreign policies are different from the other two resolution papers, they may form a third resolution paper. The question that is probably circling your mind right now is what on earth is a resolution paper? Now let me explain to you the structure of a resolution paper. At the very top of a resolution paper, you will have the sponsoring nations, the delegates who have stood up and made their mark throughout the entire day of the conference will sponsor the separate resolutions. Then beneath that, you will have the signatories, or the nations that are in support of the particular resolution papers. Down to the real paperwork. Beneath the signatories, you will have the pre-ambulatory clauses. This section should contain the different aspects of the original problem that you have discussed throughout the whole day. Now, beneath the pre-ambulatory clauses, there will be the operatives. This section is the most important part of a resolution paper. The operatives must cover all the problems that you have encountered throughout the day and should provide answers for each and every one of them. Your head table will provide you a specific time allocation in which you must complete the resolution paper. After that time period expires, you must hand over your resolution papers to your head table. You, as a diplomatic delegate, should work together with the other delegates collectively in order to make your resolution paper a great success. Now, to round off the unmoderated caucus, we will have to find out which resolution paper succeeded. In order to do that, we will have to move on to a voting procedure. The head table will entertain for and against votes for both the resolutions separately. The sponsoring nations must vote for the resolution papers which they took part in, but the signatories will be given the freedom to vote for the resolution papers of their liking. It is not compulsory for the signatories to vote for the resolution which they took part in. The resolution paper is the simple majority of votes